Alright, legends, it's time to talk about a team-up so massive it's practically unstoppable. On one side, we've got Harley Quinn, the queen of chaos, sass, and endless surprises. And on the other, Power Girl, the powerhouse with, let's just say, two massive reasons you won't look away from this story. If you're here for deep philosophical debates, you're in the wrong comic. If you're here for Harley Quinn, Power Girl, and a story that knows exactly what it's doing, pull up a chair. It's about to get ridiculous in the best way. So here's where it all begins. Harley Quinn, now free from the Joker, inherits an apartment building filled with carnival-themed tenants. From there, it's chaos as usual, wild schemes, unpredictable adventures, and a whole lot of Harley being Harley. But then, one evening, everything changed. A superhero, none other than Power Girl, crash-landed right in front of Harley's property, leaving a smoking crater in her wake. Harley and her two friends, completely clueless about who she was or why she'd dropped in, pulled her from the wreckage and carried her back to Harley's place to figure out what was going on. They managed to get Power Girl into a bed, rolled her over, and waited. Minutes passed, tension hung thick in the air, until Power Girl suddenly sat up with a start, anger flashing across her face.
Where am I?
She snapped. Harley, hands up like she was calming a wild animal, leaned in with a nervous smile.
Hey, sweetie, relax. You've had a rough night. You're okay, you're with friends. Can you tell me your name?
Power Girl paused, clearly struggling, before admitting she didn't know her own name. Just as quickly, she slumped back and passed out. One of Harley's friends suggested it was probably exhaustion and that they should let her rest. But Harley lit up with an idea. It was going to be super. It was going to be epic. And most importantly, it was going to be fun. With a grin and zero hesitation, she booted her friends out, leaving herself alone with Power Girl. Step 1 for Harley, strip Power Girl down. Step 2, explain her genius plan to her stuffed beaver. The pitch? They'd be a superhero crime-fighting dream team. But first, Harley needed a costume to match Power Girl's legendary style. So naturally, she added her own boob window. Practical? No. Iconic? Absolutely. Once Harley slipped into her new costume, she couldn't help but ask if the cleavage was a bit too much. Her friend, unimpressed, reassured her there was no need to worry. Compared to the sleeping Power Girl, Harley was as flat as a surfboard. Harley and her friend decided to make an exact replica of her new suit for Power Girl, convinced they'd look like the ultimate crime-fighting duo. Beaming with excitement, Harley wondered aloud if Power Girl would be mad about it. To find out, she held Power Girl's nose until she woke up. Power Girl stretched, groggily sat up, and immediately ripped through the suit Harley had made for her. The first thing Power Girl wanted to know, naturally, was why she was naked. Looking heartbroken, Harley sheepishly handed her the old white outfit, apologizing and explaining that she had been trying something new for their team. Power Girl slipped the suit back on but paused, frowning as she pointed out that something about it felt off. Power Girl looked down at her outfit, frowning as she remarked that the circle on her chest felt out of place, like it was missing a symbol or at least some armor for protection. Harley tilted her head, confused, and asked what she meant by armor. Power Girl, unimpressed, said she couldn't tell if she was a superhero or a stripper. Harley reassured her, claiming she was a superhero with a secret identity. Betty Burns, the strong woman known as the Bomb. Power Girl raised an eyebrow at the name, but Harley insisted the Bomb was the most powerful woman in the world. Power Girl still wasn't convinced. Power Girl questioned how being the strongest woman in the world could pass as a secret identity. Harley dug out a pair of glasses, insisting they'd do the trick. Power Girl put them on, and Harley gasped theatrically, claiming she'd disappeared. Unimpressed, Power Girl muttered that only morons wouldn't recognize her. Harley quickly added that wearing her hair up would help. Despite her doubts, Power Girl hesitated, then started to warm to the idea. Harley decided a shopping spree was in order, pointing out that Power Girl couldn't keep rocking just her iconic boob window suit. The two hit the stores, trying on everything from high fashion to questionable bargain bin finds. Just when they were about to grab some well-deserved food, their plans were rudely interrupted by none other than Sportsmaster, looking like the final boss of a high school PE class. And beside him was Clock King, who somehow managed to make punctuality seem downright evil. In a flash, Power Girl and Harley Quinn threw off the disguises and suited up, Harley grinning like a maniac, Power Girl all business. Together, they launched forward, ready to show those troublemakers exactly how this dynamic duo gets things done. Realizing they couldn't take on Power Girl and her unpredictable sidekick in a fair fight, the villains pulled out a teleportation ring. Just as Power Girl and Harley lunged into action, the ring activated, and in an instant, the duo was hurled into another dimension. The new dimension was bizarre. Giant dogs, strange aliens, and a completely different art style. Confused, Power Girl and Harley barely had time to react before one of the aliens approached them. The alien queen ordered Power Girl and Harley to kneel, introducing herself as Queen Idijamon. Power Girl turned to Harley, clearly baffled, and asked if she had just heard them being called slaves. Harley muttered something under her breath about the queen's name, sounding like, "I did your mum?" The queen then turned to a bespectacled man she called the accountant from the land of Astoria, demanding to know who the two of them were. Adjusting his glasses, the man described Power Girl as the one with crowd pleasers, and confirmed she was a superhero. He had just begun to dismiss Harley as anything but a protector when he was suddenly struck by a blast of energy. The queen cried out in despair, calling the man her lover. Harley, unimpressed, pointed out that the so-called lover had been chained to a desk. Power Girl, wide-eyed, turned to Harley, demanding to know if she had just killed him. Harley shrugged it off, explaining that they had called Power Girl's party favors crowd pleasers, which she found downright rude. But there's no time for explanations. The queen summons all her guards to attack Power Girl and Harley. They ducked into a nearby hallway as the guards opened fire. Power Girl quickly noticed the weapons had no effect on her. Unfazed, she stood tall, letting the bullets bounce harmlessly off her while Harley watched. Everything seems to be going perfectly for the duo, until a giant dog suddenly sits on Harley's head. The dog turned to Power Girl, acknowledging her strength and admitting they couldn't control her. Calmly, he asked how they could resolve the situation. Finally freeing Harley, who gasped for air, the dog turned his attention to the queen and immediately launched into an argument. To Power Girl and Harley's growing confusion, the dog accused the queen, his wife, of sleeping with an alien. The queen stammered, trying to defend herself, but the fight only escalated. The squabble reached its breaking point when the enraged dog lost his temper entirely by eating the queen. With the queen gone, the dog turned to Power Girl and Harley, asking what he could do for them. They explained their situation, and the dog calmly told them Earth couldn't be found in this dimension. There was a version of it, he added, but it wandered through a strange and unpredictable part of the galaxy. Harley muttered to herself, wondering how things could possibly get any weirder. Their journey led them to the realm of Manos, home to a giant sentient talking pizza slice. When they politely requested an audience, the almighty pizza flat-out refused. Frustrated, Power Girl stepped off the ship, determined to reason with it by force if necessary. Her version of reasoning? A punch straight to the crust. But the pizza fought back, unleashing a strange, powerful energy that hit Power Girl harder than anything she'd faced before. But Harley didn't panic. She still had the weird alien gun. Without a second thought, she fired at the giant pizza slice, blowing it to bits in a spectacular explosion. The blast, however, sent Harley flying into the void of space, tumbling away like a glittering speck, seemingly lost forever. And just like that, Harley was gone. Will she bounce back? Will Power Girl come to the rescue? Or is Harley out there somewhere plotting how to swindle the laws of physics themselves? If you want to see what happens next in this chaotic adventure, don't forget to like and comment. The more noise you make, the faster I'll roll out the next part.